this thing for yourself. Your body will thank you, and hopefully your mind will too. So I had in mind for this practice a little thing to perk us up a little bit. It's not the best or easiest of times for any of us. I was going to call this yoga for sadness, but then I thought that sounds too sad, which sounds really silly. So yoga just to maybe just perk us up a little bit if you are feeling a little bit down and can't seem to sort of lift yourself out of the fog. So hopefully this practice will help to give you a good start to the day if you do this in the morning, or maybe even if you've had a stressful day, do it in the evening. It doesn't matter, it's up to you when you want to do it. So we're going to start in child's pose on our mats. Now, as I would like this to be a comforting practice, uplifting but also comfortable, reinforcements should you need them, blankets, cushions, blocks, whatever you want to use to make this practice better for you. So if you want to use a cushion under your head for this child's pose, then please feel free to do that. I'll also urge you to keep all your moves quite slow and fluid, because if you are feeling a bit down, you are going to feel really heavy limbed, lead limbed, you're going to feel sort of sluggish, and your movements are going to be slow anyway, sort of like you're doing it through water. So if we use that to our advantage, keep everything slow, elegant, even sort of dance-like, fluid, and just see how we go, and hopefully you will feel better at the end of this practice. So let's meet in child's pose, whatever variation you're used to doing, whether it's open-legged or closed. And once you're in your child's pose, stay there for 5 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And then from there, we're just going to thread the needle, so taking that right arm and putting it under the left armpit and resting your head back on the floor. Stay here for 5 good breaths. And then nice and slowly transitioning to the other side. Slowly, just moving your cushion out the way if you have used one, and just stepping your hands, safely coming into a tabletop pose. And then from there, just stepping your hands out, keeping the lower part of your body raised off of the mat, and just stretching out the upper half of your body into puppy dog pose. Just feel that stretch in the shoulders and the upper back. Just stay here for 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. And then really slowly, safely come back out, back into your tabletop. So just getting yourself into a safe position here, so making sure your fingers are fanned out wide, your knees are hip width apart, and the backs of your feet are flat on the mat. So we're just going to wake up our lower spine here by going into the cats and cows sequence. So just dropping the navel, lifting the gaze, inhale, and exhale, push you into cat pose. So pushing away from the mat, rounding the shoulders. Inhale, drops the tummy, lifts the gaze. And then exhale, rounds the shoulders, pushes the mat away. And just do 2 more of those in your own time, in your own breathing. to your last one, just coming into natural tabletop. Now from here, we're going to transition into runner's lunge. So if you need to guide your right leg up to the top of the mat, then feel free to do that. So once you get yourself nice and comfortable, supported with that back knee on the mat, lifting yourself up off of the mat. So imagine that you're scissoring your front heel and your back knee together, which should sort of help push you up a little bit further, activating those tummy muscles. So when you feel you've got your balance, just bringing your hands up above, into prayer above the head, and then down to heart centre. And then when you're feeling secure enough, we can intensify this ever so slightly by going into a prayer twist. So your left elbow should be hooked behind your right knee. So your gaze should follow where your right elbow is directed. And if you feel yourself slouching, just bring yourself up a little bit. Inhale, just activate that tummy. And stay here for 3 breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth this time. And then just really slowly and safely coming out of that pose and then swapping over. So if you need to guide that left leg up to the top of the mat, then feel free to do that. And then when you're feeling secure, bring yourself up. So if you imagine that front ankle and back knee drawing towards each other, that should help straighten you up a little bit. So guide those hips physically forward if you need to. And then when you're feeling less wobbly, inhale brings those hands up into heart prayer, meeting the heart centre. And then when you're ready, doing the same on the other side. So hooking opposite elbow to opposite leg, gaze to the back elbow, and 3 breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just really safely, just centre yourself, coming back into tabletop. And now here, like we did in puppy dog pose, we're going to get ourselves into a similar position, but we're going to thread the needle again. So starting with that right arm going under the left, and then your cheek of your face comes to the mat. And stay here for 3 breaths. And then safely transitioning to the other side. And it will look and feel different on either side that you do, or for everyone doing this. Like I always say, attempting the poses is almost as good as succeeding and fully doing them. So then you just come up, just bring yourself nice and calmly to seated. So just take a couple of moments here before we move on. If you want to take a sip of water, if you want to put an extra layer of clothing on, take an extra layer off. Just a few moments here just to ground ourselves. Just let our body absorb what we have already done. So just close your eyes. Focus on that breathing. Straighten up the spine. Just really feel the movements. For the next part of our yoga, just exaggerate the movements. Really, like I said, use it to your advantage as you're feeling heavy limbed, not feeling your greatest. So just exaggerate the movement of the limbs. Okay, so now we're just going to have a few more moments in child's pose before we fully move on. So whatever variation you prefer. And then when you're ready, No rush, in your own time. We're going to come up, and we're going to up and back into downward facing dog. Again, however this looks for you. Just notice where your body is calling out to you, where needs some movement or attention, or where doesn't, most importantly. Just really feel. And if it feels better for you for your neck, or if you get dizzy, then just keep your gaze slightly above the top of your mat. Otherwise, letting the neck hang. I'm just going to add some movement here. We're just going to paddle out our legs. And then when you're ready, and you've got your good balance, good grip through the hands on the mat, we're going to lift our right leg into three-legged dog. And then we're just going to bend the knee to set that hip open. And then we're going to straighten that leg and come all the way through, knee to nose, scrunch into a ball, and then replace that foot. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Left leg's going to come up, three-legged dog. And then you're just going to bend that knee, just relax the ankle, and just open up the hip on the other side. And then again, straightening that leg, coming through, scrunch into a ball, knee to nose, and then just replacing that foot on the mat, and then just paddle out the legs again a few times on each side. And then from here, we're just going to step our feet just behind our wrists. We're going to keep a wide stance here, so each side of the mat is a good basis. Okay, so again, keeping mindful of our lower back, sucking in our tummy muscles, nice bend in those knees, for a wide leg forward fold. And then from here, we're going to, well, grab's not a very nice word, we're going to hug our left leg, okay? So, coming all the way over to the left side, legs remain the same, you're just stretching over to the left side, just hugging. So for some of us it could be hugging our shins, for some of us we might not be able to get down as far, so it'd just be sort of hands behind the thigh, so whatever it looks like for you. If you can't do that at all, then get in a block and just focusing on elongating the arms, keeping the shoulders open, and you might find yourself here. So wherever you find yourself, just a nice hug, enjoying that stretch, and then just nice and safely bring yourself over to the other side. So again, wherever you find yourself, wherever your body is going to allow today. And then from here, keeping that bend in the knees just to protect our knee joints, we're just going to walk our hands up our bodies. Bringing our feet together in the middle here. Just going to bring our hands up above our heads. Palms together, bringing them down to heart centre. And then we're just going to safely, slowly and in our own time come down to a seated position on our mats. So here, if you want to, bring a cushion or block just to give you a bit of extra height under the bum and protect our lower back if need be. Actually, I'm going to turn to the side, that might be better for all of us. If we turn the side on our mats, so height under the bums if we need it. I'm just going to come into staff pose to begin with, so keeping those toes active, so pointing to the ceiling. Fingertips on the mat behind, just to really exaggerate the length in our spine. And then we're just going to bring our hands forward, and we're going to have a really nice good bend in the knees, even to the point where the soles of your feet do touch the mat. And then we're going to suck in our tummy muscles, and then we're just going to hug. So again, however that looks for you. If you really want to push yourself further, you can have a micro bend in those knees and just hug the feet. up higher and hugging the thigh. So whatever you feel like doing today, it's your practice. So whatever you feel like doing today. So when you find what you want to do, just stay there for 5 good breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then from whatever position you're in, just safely walking your hands up your body. Now we will turn round on our mats and come into whatever easy cross-leg pose you're used to doing. I'm not expecting you to do anything like lotus or anything like that. We're just going to keep it nice and easy and fluid. Whatever leg you want in front is fine also. So just getting your sit bones nice and comfortable on the mat. Again, if you do require height underneath you, then feel free to use a cushion or a block. Now, just going to bring our hands out by our sides, so sort of 10 pole fingers, fingertips on the mat. And we're just going to start by lifting that right hand up to the ceiling and all the way to the other side. So just stretching out the right side of our body. And then we're going to replace the hand and we're going to do the same on the other side. Replacing those hands. We're going to try and do a little bit deeper this time. So we're going to aim for our forearm to be on the mat. So we'll do the same again. But see if you can get your forearm to touch the mat this time. If you can't, just stay with the first variation. Just intensify the stretch down the side of your body. And same on the other side. And then coming back up. Now we're going to put our opposite hand on opposite knee. So I usually start with my right, so my right hand is on my left knee. My left hand is behind me. I'm going to take a nice big inhale, straighten up my spine, and then I'm going to exhale to bring me round to face over my shoulder. Just for a nice easy seated twist. And just slowly unravel, do the same on the other side. Can't go all the way round, then just to the side, so whatever your body will allow today, and then just really slowly untwist. Okay, so again, like we said, it's for comfort this time, it's your practice. If you want a cushion for this, we're going to lay down on our mats. Just get yourself comfortable. And then when you're ready, just hugging in the knees into the chest for a comfortable full wind pose. You don't have to move about in this one, just hugging everything in and then letting our feet drop to the mat. Now from here, so you might start sliding, so you might want to just get comfortable and just hold on to your cushion. And then once your feet are firmly planted onto the mat, we're just going to window wipe a little bit, so it's just letting our knees drop to one side and the other, a window wiper motion. It's quite nice for releasing lower back tension, just keeping that top half of the body on the mat and just letting the lower part of your body do the work. It's actually an active relaxation, so it's actually quite nice. If your body won't allow this movement, you can stay like this and just drop one leg and then replace the middle and then the other leg, and just do one leg at a time. That's the less movement is better for your back, or you just don't like the window wiper motion, just do one leg at a time. So wherever you find yourself, just doing that. And try not to rush. Remember, we're heavy limbed, not feeling so great. Use that to our advantage. And then when you're finished, just bringing it back up into the middle. Okay, so now we're going to bring our right ankle across our left leg. I'm going to come into figure of 4. So when you've done that, keeping those toes active, and then we're just going to thread our arms through. So they're just below the left knee, and they're just going to pull that in. So you feel a lovely stretch in the right thigh, the right buttock. If you want to intensify that ever so slightly, you can put your hands clasped behind the thigh and you can straighten that left leg and then continue to pull in. Some people like movement here and some people like to stay still, so just experiment with what feels good for you, whatever position you choose. And then just going to relax the legs and then do the same on the other side. So just have a little play about what feels good for you. So you might want to stay still, you might want to move, you might want to elongate the leg, you might not want to. So just have a little play around to see what you want to do. And then just releasing those feet down to the mat. And then our soles are going to meet, so we're going to open our legs into either open book, butterfly legs, whatever you know it as. And we're going to have one hand on the heart, one hand on the tummy. And we're going to do 10 breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth here, and in your own time. And then after your 10 breaths, just blink open the eyes. Take a nice big inhale to bring in the legs. And exhale just brings you into your final Shavasana. So just take up space on the mat, palms facing up, a little bit of space between the hips and the hands. Letting your feet fall open so your ankles are completely relaxed. And just let the mat take your weight. Any tension you feel anywhere in your body, just let it all go. Absorb everything that you have just done. See this as a thank you to your body for being with you in this practice. And then when you're ready, you're just going to bring some life back into the toes, the ankles, the wrists and the fingers. So just keeping those toes active from now onwards, which means a little bit of activation in the thighs. And you're just going to bring your hands up above to prayer position, and then just bring in your hands to your forehead.